There we go. We got 2 demos to review tonight. First one comes from... I forget what the guy's name is. Let's skip to the next round when everybody's loaded in. Let's adjust the volume. Let's see. We are viewing Shuda. Alright, I have no idea what rank he is. There's no questions about it. Just, hey, review this demo. So, that's what I'm gonna do. Bought P250, ran out, he got destroyed. When you peek that angle, you kind of want to come in with your crosshair flat already at head level, and you're going to hold A into that angle. You don't want to hold W and A and then be looking at the ground and kind of have to swing up in the air like you did there, okay? So you want to make it less work for yourself, you know? Make sure you're not having to move your mouse too much. Again, crosshair placement right there. You kind of spammed with the P250. That's not going to lead you to get too many kills. Let's see. You got the AK nade. That's fine. All right. So you're swinging out. You are clearing angles. Nobody's there. You got screwed by that one too many times, it seems. All right. You go for the reload. Let's see. Good trade. 2 versus 2 situation. You got one guy ton, one guy coming window in about 2 seconds. There we go. He hits the shot on you. Okay. You already got 2, so that's not too bad right there. Let's see. You're going to swing out mid. Your crosshair placement isn't that good. Your movement is very, very clunky. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say you have less than 1,000 hours. Most of the things that I'm going to tell you that you need to work on are kinks that will be worked out in your own gameplay after you play for a lot of more time. Alright, like your movement being clunky, right there, you immediately, like as soon as you saw the guy, you just crouched and sprayed at his body. You didn't go for the headshot. There was none of that. As soon as you saw him, you crouched and you just continued to move while you sprayed. These are things that you're going to lose the habit of doing once you get better and once you're more confident about going for those headshots and stuff, okay? You're not going to have to worry about, you know, dedicating to the spray, which it seems that that's what you've been doing. Every single one of your kills has come from dedicating to the spray, which means that you don't have too good of crosshair placement, which is pretty obvious. And your movement being like, it's just, most of these things are just things that are going to be fixed when you play more. Positioning wise, whatever the hell that molly was supposed to be, I'm guessing that was supposed to land right side blue, but that's not going to land there. You have to throw it more right. Like your decision making, doing whatever you're doing right now, jumping out, like these are just very basic fundamental errors that once you play more of the game and you watch people that are better than you, you go, oh, okay, I probably shouldn't do that because they're not doing that. My suggestion, if you want a faster process instead of you having to learn from your own mistakes, which is completely viable, you're going to want to watch pros. Whether it's just like highlight clips, like Tarek puts out videos, Sam puts out videos, that kind of stuff. Watching those is always nice. Maybe you see a couple plays that they do, or you catch on to, hey, they don't immediately go for sprays, they get one taps here and there. But I'm sure that you already know that, but you just can't implement it into your own gameplay yet because you don't have the skill to do so. So you're going to flash everybody on your team. It's a 4 versus 1, and you guys are going to, oh, yeah, you guys win the round. All right, 2 to 5. See? You're going 5 and 6 right now. There's a guy with a Mag 7 outdoors, so you're gonna fall off because Mag 7s are scary. Understandable. No, I mean, I've already said basically half the things that I'm gonna say, over half the things that I'm gonna say. It's just crosshair placement, your movement's clunky. It's all about you playing more time, right? One thing that I will tell you is that while it is good to deathmatch, and to practice your aim, make sure that while you're doing that, and I do recommend that you do that, it is very obvious that you need to get into a deathmatch server and get, you know, 150 kills and then do it every single day. Like, if you want to improve, that's what you need to do. That's very obvious, and I highly recommend that. But don't only do that. You also need to play the game, because you have no game sense. 0% game sense. So the only way you're going to get more game sense is if you play game type scenarios, competitive scenarios where you're actually playing against other people, and you can start to see, oh, well, people normally do this. You can see the patterns, you can adjust that, and you'll be able to improve from there. Yeah, so we're just gonna miss these shots mid. You guys win the round, blah blah blah. Let's see if there's anything super crazy. So you guys are going for an A site take, you're boosting on your teammate, nobody's there, might as well get off by now, nobody's there. Your teammate says, get the hell off of me, you say, I guess, after he does some damage to you. Alright, so you've sat in pit the whole round so far. It's now a 1 versus 3 because you've done nothing in terms of trying to help your team. Your team has been pushing up towards A site, trying to get something done, and you've just been sitting there waiting for somebody who's not going to peek an angle that you're holding. And even if they have no incentive to peek that angle because they can see your teammates from an angle more to the left. So it's they have no reason to swing out there. And now you're going to get one. They're pushing you. One close right. Ooh, you hit the shot. Ooh, ooh. Ah, close one. Close one. You still shouldn't have been that close. Don't think you did something good there. This is, I would say, a silver game just because the purchases, everybody wants to be an opper. There's no sense of like, hey, we have 3 ops T side. That's probably not the best idea. Nobody can entry in. You're still throwing fake flashes with the Glock. One guy has a PP Bison and he's got a kill with it already this round. This is most likely silver. So my recommendation to you, is to deathmatch a ton. Alright, 150 kills at the bare minimum when you go into a deathmatch. And not some Valve deathmatch, a community server, free-for-all deathmatch, okay? Dust 2, Mirage, you'll get fucked, okay? How long has the stream been going? The stream's been going for all of 8 minutes, so you haven't missed out on too much. Don't worry. I got another demo to do after this. So yeah, you're going to want to deathmatch a ton. Retakes and execute servers are very good. Spectre has a lot of servers that are all over the area, along with Tarek has some. Sneak also has some retakes. Those will help you figure out like executes. They will also help you figure out common spots that people hold, common angles that you need to pre-fire. It might help you with your pre-firing, your crosshair placement kind of stuff. But yeah, like overall, there's not too much to go over here because there's no strategic side to any of this. You are gonna get a kill here. Oh, maybe not. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There we go. There's no strategic side to go over because nobody in this game is really going for strategy. Aim, I don't like talking too much about because, I mean, that's what everybody talks about and everybody focuses on. There's just not too much else to say. We'll watch a couple rounds of CT, but if there's just nothing there, we're moving on to the next demo. There's no insult to you. It's just that I feel that I've said just about everything that I can say. Like, crosshair placement isn't good. When he peeks out, you need to hit the headshot. Having a smaller crosshair, like the gap size on your crosshair is pretty big. Alright, pretty big. This is not Call of Duty. This is not Halo. You need to be precise with your shots. Okay? It's not about getting in the general area. It's about getting very precise and being precise. You need to make sure that you can hit their head. Specifically, not their bodies, not their shoulders, not their neck, but their head. And with a big, wide crosshair with a huge gap in it, it's not going to be too easy. Let's see. Any recommendations for West Coast DM servers? I'm not sure. I'm East Coast, so I only play East or Central, or maybe like Dallas. So Chicago, Dallas, New York, Washington, D.C. Those are the servers I normally stick to. West Coast servers, I couldn't tell you. I like how when the only guy was left on A, they still pushed A instead of going B. Like that kind of... There's no strategy, there's no thought, there's no process of elimination, there's no nothing. It's just... there's nothing. Like 15 seconds into the round, 3 people running through long doors. Then, of course, they have 4 people on B. 1 guy has a sawed-off, 1 guy has a deagle, 2 people have rifle. Guy goes for a knife, sawed-off guy is last with 3 HP. He misses bomb, but he still gets it. Like, there's nothing else to really say. There's nothing else to really say. There's no strategy involved. There's no thought. There needs to be a lot more games played, you know? So let's see. Knife round. This is an ESEA match with Duck, who I've done a lot of demo reviews of. Normally a very smart player, very patient player, knows his util, but in this match he got fucked over. So let's see if it's entirely aim duel based, maybe positioning wise, who knows. Just going for the normal up B, bomb's a little late. That is a difficult shot occasionally, so I understand missing that. It's not like you don't need to hit that, but it is good hit. That you need to get the kill right there. Like, I'll be real with you, that needs to be a kill in your favor. You get the kill right there, your team most likely wins the round. So let's see. You guys force up, except for one of your teammates. They go for a window peek pretty quick right off the bat. It looks like you decided to go alt mid a little late there, which, I mean, that's something that you're going to have to be worried about. And I'm sure the next time you go alt mid, you are going to be looking at that window on the left. So you are learning from your mistakes. I'm assuming that you're going to learn. You seem like a pretty smart guy. Hey, how are you doing? Pretty good. How are you doing, Racebot? Hey, Jeff. Hydrosity, I reviewed the guy's demo, the first bit. It took all of 13 minutes. I'm assuming that he's silver. Late ass stream to destroy me. Hell yeah, brother. No, Hydrosity, the guy's silver. There's not too much to say about it. There's nothing on the strategy side to really like talk about. His aim needed a lot of work. What else was there? His crosshair placement needed a lot of work. His movement needed a lot of work. There was nothing, no decision making or anything. He just needs to deathmatch a ton and play a lot of matches. All right, he needs to just grind those middle hours out, so he can become a better player. Probably the most boring part, and yet the funnest, because I guess it could be the more fun part because you're learning all these new things, is when you're just in between being completely new and not knowing what's going on. So you have the fundamentals of, okay, I get we have to plant the bomb, blah, 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 there's smokes and all that, I understand all that. Once you have the fundamentals, going from getting the fundamentals to knowing actually how to implement them and use them to your advantage and take peeks and outsmart players and do all that, that whole middle part could take 2,500 hours to do. But the entire time you're learning new stuff. And the biggest thing that you need to keep in mind is to stay dedicated if you want to get better. If you don't want to get better, or you want to get, for example, you want to get better, but you don't have that dedication, you don't have that grind to get through all that shit, all you being horrible, and you have to admit that you're bad. You can't sit there and say, oh, it's the hit reg, it's my teammates, it's the enemy team, they're cheating, whatever. You can't do that. You have to accept that you're not going to be better at the game than somebody who has played it longer than you. That's just not realistic. You're not somehow some savant gamer, okay? No, you are just the average fucking Joe that needs to grind out and practice and put in hours to become talented at something. You're not born talented at Counter-Strike, Right? There's no genetic, all right, there probably is some dumbass genetic feature that you can have that makes you better, or like my reaction time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You need to pour the hours in. Back to this demo. So I'm sure that you're going to look at that window next time you go. See, look, we're going alt mid again, and guess what? You're not going to look at that window. You don't care. Oh, but you consider that he could peek. You learned from your mistakes. He did peek right there. You learn from your mistakes, and that's something good to see. Everybody's gonna make a mistake. Everybody is going to make a mistake. But the question is, will you actually do something about it? Or are you gonna continue to make the mistake and just count it as a one-off? Count it as they're having a nuts day or something. You're burning alive, brother. You need to get out of there. It didn't look like the molly was spreading. Sometimes... Now, this has happened to me before. Sometimes the molly will land and it will be burning you, but you didn't get, like, there was another sound on the same tick that, like, the molly damage sound happened, so you don't hear it, or it was overlapped by something, and you just don't hear the of it hitting you. That has happened to me multiple times, and it's very surprising. It seems that the CTs are going for that one window peak every single time. Yeah, they're going for pretty aggro apps, which usually you don't see in pugs. But the one thing that I will say constantly, and I've said multiple times, that's what I meant to say, is that the most unwinnable situation is when the team that you're playing against has much better aim than you and is very aggressive. Because if you can't just sit back with 5 people holding an angle, waiting for the CTs or Ts to run into it, and they still kill you, they still get that full down mid control, they still get that full apps control, even if you're sitting there just waiting and they swing into you, they have to clear you out and you know exactly where they're coming from, and they still get you, you're not going to win. Alright, you're not going to win. Maybe halftime when the sides switch up, they change their style or something. Maybe you guys get some momentum, but for the most part, you are not going to win that. Everything else, I feel that you can come back about. All right, everything else, I think it's potential to come back. But when they're hitting their shots and they're more aggressive than you, it's just not going to work out. So bomb is still down in T-spawn. They don't know that it's down in T-spawn, I'm assuming. Yeah, you know that there's one banana because they just threw a molly there. You're taking your time to clear out angles, which is good, but there's 55 seconds. Hopefully you go top mid here. You do. You decide to run. I mean, the time hasn't really changed all that much. You running has... Oh, there we go. Nice shot, nice shot. You running gives up your position, but luckily there wasn't anybody in that position to... really take advantage of that. You know that there has to be one banana. The guy doesn't peek out. He's waiting for you. So right now, you're assuming that they know that bomb's down. In this situation, I would not assume that they knew bomb was down, just because nobody's really pushing around here. And if they did think that bomb was down, you wouldn't have just killed somebody from top mid. All right? They would have seen bomb. They all would have been huddled around. They all would have taken better angles. You wouldn't have just seen one top mid. So you wasted about 10-15 seconds there clearing everything out. You're left with 13 seconds. You're not going to be able to do anything with that in a 1v2 when you're not even near a site. Even if they were around bomb, taking your time to clear things out right there is not the correct play because you just don't have time to do it. So, good job. You did your job that round, okay? They ran down banana, you sat there, you held the angle, they swung into you, and you still got the kill. That's good, all right? That's good. But your team doesn't seem like they're catching on to that. One of your guys got a kill before he died, but the other guy didn't get a kill before he died, so now it's a 2 versus 3. Now, something to keep in mind is that 3 versus 3s, 4 versus 4, like, whenever it's the same amount of players alive, the advantage always goes to the T side. Of course, depending on the map and the setup of all that. But usually, like a 3 versus 3, the Ts have the advantage. Because the CTs have to determine which site they're going to stack. And that means that the Ts have a 50% chance that they're going to get a good site. And still, it's 3 people crunching against 2 people, best case scenario, so the Ts are still going to have the advantage. That right there is unfortunate. And it's just, your team is just getting picked off. It's these two, the same 2 guys, talking to me and Beyond the Grave. Same 2 guys, 2 rounds in a row, dying first. They were so aggro, so I thought they knew bomb was down, but it made sense. Yeah. I mean, it's an understandable assumption to make that, hey, they maybe thought bomb was down, or they saw bomb since they pushed through everything. But you just didn't have the time. So you guys finally get a pick in your advantage. It's a 5 versus 4, 5 versus 3. You guys should be winning this round. You need to have gun out since you know that they get aggro apps. Yeah, you got 2 kills A, but you never know. You never know. Luckily, the guy doesn't peek out. He's on Balk or in mini pit. I can't tell. You got a guy library, got a guy CT. So now it's a 3v2. You get a nice kill there. 2v2. That took a little while to get traded out, but luckily it does. And I'm assuming that you guys win this round. You guys do. So all it took was you guys to make it into a 5 versus 3 for you to win the round. And even then, it was still a little close. So CT pushed through apps to get the kill. It's the same guy that dies every single time, it seems. So Inferno is a very, very difficult map to win in general. But even harder when you've got people on your team that don't know how to just sit back and not die. Because again, same 2 people dead, start of the round, it hasn't even crossed the minute mark. So with that, it's pretty difficult. You're always going to be at the disadvantage, except for one-off rounds like last round, where they actually get the picks. They keep rushing, they keep thinking that they're going to, you know, be able to run up there and do it. They're not adjusting their play style to the enemies. So one of my favorite Josh Nissan videos, he's Steel, ex-professional player, band I Buy Power, everybody knows who Steel is. But he had a rant, a little 3-minute rant on stream that somebody turned into a video. You shouldn't have pushed when there was the molly down. That was unnecessary. I understand something needs to get done. I understand it's 1 to 10, but you're suiciding at that point. You're no better than the person that also died beyond the grave. So he had a rant that went along the lines of this, okay? There are so many players that are one-dimensional, okay? And by one-dimensional, I mean there are so many players that all they know how to do is run out, take the aim duel, win it, and take sight, or win the round. He's still, yeah, I guess he's still a pro. He's still salaried, yeah. Yeah, he's professional. But there are so many players that are just one-dimensional. They only know how to swing out onto a site, or swing an aim duel, win it, and then go from there. And then take another aim duel, and then take another aim duel. That's all they know how to do. And as soon as they start losing those aim duels, they have no idea what to do. They don't know how to take it slower. They don't know how to take it faster. They don't know how to work with their team. They don't know how to use a teammate for assistance to give them the advantage. They just don't know what to do. And so they continue to try to take the aim duel. Oh, Jesus. 3 smokes? That's funny. Usually 2 smokes land CT because people aren't communicating, but 3 smokes, that's pretty funny. You don't see that too often. But as soon as they start to lose that aim duel, they'll continue to take the aim duel because they don't know what else to do. And they're just left to take this aim duel and have the 20% chance that they'll out-aim the guy who's much better than them. And so you're gonna lose most of the rounds. They don't know how to work together as a team. They don't know how to do any of that. And this defines at least some of the players in your game. And that's not like a public call out to, or trying to put people down for calling them one-dimensional. Like when I first watched that clip of him doing that and him saying all that, I thought it applied to me as well. Like, even with my 3,500 hours in the match, all the demos I've watched, all the videos I've made, all the things that I've figured out about the game and learned about the game, I still feel like that's at some level applies to me. Because the easy thing to do is just swing out, take the aim duel. The easy thing to do is to take the aim duel. It's much more difficult to actually think about what you're doing, actually plan it out together with your team, do all that. And sometimes it's impossible with some pug teams, like it seems to be in this match. But for at least some of your teammates... Oh, it's ESCA, so it's going to restart 8 times. But for some of your teammates, it seems like they just don't realize that there is more of a reason that the score is 5-10 than just, well, they have better aim. You know, they're hitting their shots today. No, you're allowing them to hit their shots. You're the one who's going for the for the picks that make it easy on them. You're the ones that are putting yourself in a position that they can then run to and get the kill. For example, they pushed through apps for the first like 10 rounds. The CTs pushed through apps for the first 10 rounds and took apps control and peeked down into alt mid. And you know what's going to stop them from being able to get a pick there? You know what's going to stop them from being able to get a pick alt mid is by not going alt mid. But nobody understood that. Nobody understood that the way to not give them a pick is to not go in the spots that they're going to check. And that's not something that your teammates are going to be thinking about. They're thinking, oh, well, you know, they have better aim. They're going to win it. And one of these times I'm going to swing out there and I'm going to get him. I'm going to get them. And it's just not reasonable. It's just not reasonable. Taking the swing there with the MP9, probably not the best idea. You do have a pretty nice advantage sitting second oranges or first oranges because they don't know when you're going to swing out. They don't know how deep you are. They don't know if you've repositioned. If you sit super deep in there, super in the corner, they have to swing all the way around to see if you're actually still there. Wouldn't they keep on pushing and take control? Yes, but... So I'll clarify my example so it's a little bit more straightforward because I'm sure you'll understand. Let me pull up the map. So if they keep on running into window and peeking down into alt mid, okay, or they run through apps here. Let me how do I change my color? I forgot how to change my color. Oh man. It's okay. So if they keep on pushing through apps here, or pushing through window here, or even running down mid, okay? The easiest way for them to get a kill is if one of your guys comes up here and immediately runs to alt mid, and they peek down through window, and he's just sitting there, knife out, running up. Just like you were the second round when they did that, okay? That's the easy kill for them. Because you're not in position and they are in position. Or for like this angle, if they sit right here and somebody peeks around this corner, okay, they are in position. This person is not in position. So they have the positional advantage. They're sitting there ready to go and they're probably going to get the kill. On the contrary, if you're sitting under bridge here, there's a little cutout. Maybe you're in apps right here, like T-apps, deep T-apps. You're waiting right here or something. You're sitting ramp. You have somebody underpass in Mexico or something, and they're pushing through, and they're peeking this angle. And that means you're in position, you're watching the angle, and they're swinging into your crosshair. There's no peeker's advantage in that situation. Peeker's advantage, in my opinion, only actually, like, relates to a scenario where the person who is peeking knows where the person they're peeking is. Knows exactly where there is. For example, the guy who's playing under porch right here, he makes a footstep. He throws some utility. He shoots a bullet. He does something that shows that he is under porch. Somebody swings out from top mid, knowing that he's right there. They will have so much peeker's advantage because they know exactly where he is, and they know when they are going to swing out. He has no idea when they're going to swing out. He doesn't know that they're right there. He can assume that they're top mid, but he doesn't know that they're that close because he doesn't have that info. They have all the info. Okay? That's the only other, time when peeker's advantage is really a thing. All the other times, if you're sitting here bottom banana, posted up on car, waiting for a guy to swing out car, and the guy swings car, you are going to get the kill because you're sitting here with good crosshair placement, waiting for him, and he doesn't know that you're sitting there. In that case, there is no such thing as peeker's advantage. Yeah, and I knew that you would get what I'm saying. I knew that you got that. Defaultish and wait for their peak so you can keep control of the area and possibly a peak. Yes. As soon as the guy rushes apps and dies, or rushes up alt mid and dies, 1, you're down a man, but 2, you've just lost control of that entire area. The guy whose bedroom is going to see, hey, there's nobody alt mid, I can drop down there, now I have all of alt mid, I can get lost in there, they won't know where I am, they will lose me, and the threat of me, I don't even have to peek at that point, but the CTs aren't going to be, or the enemy team isn't thinking that high up. But once you get that kill, and you get that map control, you got 2 options. You can, 3 options. You can fall back, take the man advantage, play the site, okay, wait for, just play the 5 versus 4, and take your advantage that you got and not risk it. All right, that's what pros normally do, okay? You got what puggers normally do, which is, okay, I got that kill alt mid. It's a 5 versus 4. I don't see anybody else alt mid, so I'm going to drop down. I'm going to take some control. I'm going to find the other people. I want to be the reason we won this round. I want the hero play, okay? And then the third option, which is more of a, it's in between being smart and being a pugger. All right, so you're still going to take that peek. You're still going to take the aggressive peek there, okay? You get the kill. It's a 5 versus 4. You see that nobody's alt mid. You're going to drop down alt mid, and you're going to hide in a really off angle that they're not going to clear, okay? Because you know that the next best thing besides you getting a kill, where there is a risk that you die since they know that you're probably going to be there and they're looking for you, the next best thing that has basically no risk is keeping control but hiding. Because the threat of you, I don't think that you can wallbang that with an M4. I'll check after this match, but I don't think that's wallbangable. I could be wrong though, but I really don't think that that is wallbangable. Just sitting, the threat of you being in that area and them not getting that trade could completely throw them off. So you held it. I don't know. That smoke was a little weird. I didn't see the guy either, I'll be honest. That was a pretty sick peek by him. But I'll show you after this a nice angle to hold. Also for this, I'll show you a better angle to hold. So we got, is it wallbangable? Angled top first oranges. And then angle right there. So we'll go map D Inferno. I don't know, but I feel like this has been a 20-minute live stream rant about different players. That's pretty much it. I don't know if you go wallbang. Let's see. Let's see. I could be completely wrong. I am sometimes. Let's see. That's not a thing. Okay. So we're gonna go here. Gonna go here. Yeah. Yeah, it's only like oppable. This is not wallbangable. Not in the slightest. Okay. So, and I'm sure that you already know these angles, but so you were sitting like right here-ish with that awkward smoke down. This is not a good, like, you don't have the advantage right here. I'd ran about me to look at this hot garbage. This angle, it's not going to be a good, like, advantage to you because technically you're susceptible to this angle, and the thing that's blocking your vision is right here. And because you're closer to it than they are, okay, they're gonna see much more of you than you are of them. So if you're right here and you can only see right there, they're gonna be able to see you from, let's see, if there's top, they'll be able to see you from here, which is much far to the right, further to the right, then you'd be able to see them from like right here. They'd see your legs sticking out and all that. Your player model's wide. So playing right here is a good angle. You can also, and you have to watch out, there's a skybox here. Okay. Oh, geez, you can see how much I've played CS recently. Okay. This is always a nice angle. You can kind of get a headshot if they start to line up against the back wall, which they normally do. Okay. Or you can crouch here and just take this fight so it's harder for them to see you. You can fall off here, so they have to hard clear you when they jump up on here. When they jump up, you know, they can't really shoot while they're jumping, so you'd be able to get the advantage there. The only problem is if you're pre-aiming right here and they swing out in front of you from like real close, they're gonna go by super fast, and they're probably gonna be aiming at you. You might die. You can also play, so you got this angle, you can play this angle, which is nice, because you can see them when they start to cross right here. And think about it. If you're a T and you're crossing right here, you're more worried about new box, dark, pillar, maybe second oranges, maybe coffin, CT definitely, because there's probably something spraying through. You're not going to be looking right here when you're swinging out, especially right in this zone. Maybe when you get here and all that, but this is a pretty nice spot. And you can also kind of play in the middle and play right here and look at pool or pit or whatever you want to call it. And you'll be able to get the guy while he's in transition. Now right here, let's see. Oh yeah, I was closer than the corner than, yeah. See, it's little things, I love to play above second oranges. People rarely check that. I completely agree. So playing right here, this, honestly, I've been killed from this angle multiple times, but this just never works out for me. I don't know why, but just right, it just never works out. What has worked out is this, all right, pushed all the way up against here. Okay, this is pretty nice. It's pushing the range for the XM though, so that is something to think about. Maybe a stronger shotgun like a Nova or a Mag 7 would be able to get the kill here. But you are kind of like right here in, just in between the angles, which isn't too good. I do like right there, but also if you're going to stick to rifling and go for a top car or something, people like to play behind sandbags, which is okay, I guess, if they swing out when they need to swing out, but if they just sit here and wait for somebody to peek into them, that's not good. They need to swing out, or they can be posted like right here on card. This is a nice angle. The only thing you have to worry about is getting flashed. That's the biggest thing for being up here, is worried about getting flashed. But right here is a decent angle, because you will see their heads cross right here, unless it's a crouched opper, which is very, very, very unlikely. And even if it is, he's not gonna like think about it. That's not an op. Oh, we'll pretend this is not. Okay. So there's a crouched opper right here. He's coming up crouched. You think he's gonna go and clear right here? No, he's posting on that angle. Okay. So you can see their heads cross, and you hold right here. Okay, you get them just a second. They're still in a transition zone, just a second before they make it all the way to here. Okay, where they normally will stop and post or swing out wide or something. This is all transition zone. Pro play, get a smoke, throw it next to half wall, sit with a Zeus. Thank you, Dan. That is very pro play. But yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I'll make videos. Probably. Maybe. No, I will. I promise. At some point, my promises are going to lose their value. But my goal this week will be to make a video. How about that? How about that? Not just some shitty one that I pump out. No, I actually want it to be something that I care about. That's the reason why I haven't been, like, forcing myself to put something out. Because I don't want to force myself to put out some shit tier content. Alright, that's not going to do well because it's bad. Let's be real, it's bad. I want to actually be like motivated to, hey, I feel like I feel compelled to make a video on this or something like that. So that's why I haven't been making too many videos. I haven't been feeling compelled to do such. So thank you all for watching. Have a good day. And I will see you next time. Thank you, Dan, for the nice new knife. Well, you didn't give it to me, but thanks for the compliment. I also